Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In today's video we are going to learn how to use and change direction with code. In previous video we have learned how to use Scratch editor to change the direction of the sprite on the screen, and it was by clicking in this field, changing this number by typing in it, or by using this circle with drag this arrow, and that way change the direction. But this time we are going to learn how to change the direction with code, only some simple examples and showing where to find those blocks of code, because I have explained all of those in some other videos which I have shot earlier, and you can see them on my YouTube channel. I will try to link them below. Anyway, we need motion, we need to change direction, which is one of the motion blocks. So click on the first circle on your left which says motion, the blue one, and try to find the direction block. The first one which I see is point in direction, and I also see set the rotation, which we have used because I will zoom this to see it better, because as we have learned in previous video, direction is connected to the rotation. Wherever and however I rotate my sprite, in this case bug, that will determine the direction, or vice versa. Wherever I want my sprite to be directed, to look at, to point at, that is where I will turn it with this arrow or change this number to in numbers. Okay, so point in direction is one scratch block, other is set rotation. There is also this direction, and turn is for rotation, so we will use that also, and that's it. So if I'm not wrong, you have 5 blocks, motion blocks, which you can use to change or affect the direction of your sprite, and we will show some simple examples here, like when the game starts and when this sprite is clicked. Okay, don't worry, I will explain this in a second. I'm just trying to see, maybe, yeah, no more direction blocks here. Okay, so point in direction, what this block is doing is that if you look at this first bug on the left side of the screen, it already points in direction 90. So if I click on it, it won't change a thing. But for example, this one here, this one on the right, for example, if I use point in direction, it will change the direction of this bug. So now if I click on this, the bug will turn to the right, because right is 90, left is minus 90. Okay, so check the screen now when I click on point in direction 90, and it's simple as that. So where do you want to use this? Maybe when the game starts, I want to be sure that my bug, which is Beetle 3, I will call it Beetle right, Beetle underscore right, it always starts with minus 90, and yeah, it will work like that. And you use it to define that your game always starts with rights, with right numbers, right directions, because maybe in some point of your game your bugs will change the rotation, or follow the enemy or attack or whatever, but the starting point, the start of the game should look like this, so always turn in that direction. And for example, this one, Beetle Top, I want that one to start when the game when the game starts. I want to point in direction how much, 180. Okay, 180. That's it. You can do that also for the other two bugs. I'm not going to lose the time anymore on that. But also you can use this point in direction in combination with some variables. So for example, I can create a variable here which I will call player or enemy or whatever, player. So if I want to this bug to follow a player, I can make a player variable which I will in which I will somehow put my x and y coordinates, so I can point in direction of player, so you see how, or whatever else you need, and you can drag and drop it into it, or some other stuff, some values, some number, and so on. So it's not something which is only set in stone, like you turn this, you put this number 90 or 180 and that's it. No, it can change, and it can change depending on whatever you want. Like this, you can put some subtraction or multiply or addition in it, or maybe some random. Let's check now this bug here on our left, how it will randomly position itself, and I will put the value from 100 to 180, and that's now looks, you can now generate like enemies which will look like randomly generated procedurally on the screen and so on. So it's simple as that. Again, only one or a couple of possible ways to use it. These two blocks turn 15 degrees left and right. They do exactly what you expect. If you click on this one, the sprite rotates in clockwise, and vice versa opposite. If you click on this one, it will turn on counterclockwise. Again, it can be used for some kind of puzzles or enemies, or cannons, guns shooting on your player and so on, but it changes the direction of the scratch sprite on the stage. This one, this set rotation style left and right, this one defines the possible ways to rotate. We have explained that in previous video. If you say left right, the scratch sprite can only look to the left or to the right, so no medium angles like northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, or something in between. It's only 90 or minus 90, only left or right. Don't rotate, that means you won't be able to rotate. And all around is this, all around, simple as that. So we have explained that one, and this one is also used mostly at the start. When the game starts, you want your sprite to define where to point, where to look, how to rotate in the game, and that's it. This one, direction, this one will give you the info on the direction of your sprite. So in this case it's 90. This, in this case, it should say 0 because our 0.3, because our sprite is pointing to the top. Now minus 90, now 180. So this button, this scratch block, reads this value here in direction, and you can again use it in combination with these operators to check if direction is greater than, for example, 180, turn it back, and so on. So add some, subtract, multiply, divide, and so on. Yeah, I think that's it. The whole idea here was just to show you the blocks and some simple uses for those blocks. The possibilities are almost endless, and the whole idea here is to understand the difference between the code and this editor here, which is like hard coding, set in stone value. Once you define it, it's like that until you change it with the code. And the code, of course, is used for the games. And in this case, for example, when we have a direction changing, it's probably specific for some games like shooting enemies or something like that, where you want to follow the other object, the other sprite. But in general, the whole idea is to understand that you have almost absolute control here with these code blocks, and it's all about how you're going to use them, when, and you can use them interchangeably, repeatedly, and so on. So don't be afraid to experiment with those and so on. But in short, it's the whole control is in your hands. You can do with it whatever you want, not like with these fields here, which are only type ones, define ones. No, we can use this block, turn 15 degrees, and so on, in combination with these. For example, if something happens, then turn there. So for example, if enemy is attacking, then run away, turn away from him, and if enemy is running away, then chase him, like this, and so on. So those are maybe little bit more complex examples and need more time to define them in details, but I hope you guessed the whole idea here. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you in next one. Bye for now.